we have some similar faces if you're familiar with some of the work that we've done in the past. So, and thank you to the Department of Foreign Affairs of Australia for their generous support for the first 2 years, which will allow us to work with the Indian Ocean Rim Association on several activities, including this one that we're talking about now, which is the Early Career Ocean Professional Program. This is the first activity that we will do as part of the new Blue Carbon Hub. And this session is to help all of the prospective applicants who might be interested in applying to be part of the program. So we will first of all hear from a few people who have joined us in previous programs. We will have Munawaroh and Jamie Yeo give us a little bit of information and some stories about their experience. Then I will give you a few tips and a little bit of advice about what makes a good application. And then at the end, for the last 20 minutes or so, we will open it up to you so that you can ask us some questions if you have questions, and we will do our best to answer. And at any point during that time, you can post comments or questions in the chat function. We will try and moderate those questions and get back to them and answer them at the end. So, to start with and give you stories about their experiences, I will hand you over first to Munawaroh and then to Jamie Yeo. Munawaroh from Indonesia. Ibu Muna, the floor is yours. If you can jump on and share your screen.
Okay, thank you, Pak Matt. Hello, everyone. Let me share my screen.
Perfect. We can see.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. Yeah, my name is Munawaroh, and I'm thrilled to be here to share my experience navigating the Blue Carbon Hub for Early Career Ocean Professional or ECOP program. And today I will be guiding you through the application process for the 2026 intake for alumni perspective, and also sharing some personal insight and hopefully inspiring you to submit the application. So, yeah. So what to expect today? The first is like the program overview, learn about the 2026 ECO program and what to expect, and also alumni insight from me and first also from Jamie, and also career impact. Discover how the program can support your professional development, and also interactive Q&A. You can ask question about the application process and also program requirements. So here I am. My name is Munawaroh. I'm a junior researcher at the Research Center for Geoinformatics, National Research and Innovation Agency of Indonesia. My education background is my bachelor and master degree in remote sensing, Faculty of Geography, Universitas Gadjah Mada, Indonesia. And for my ECOP project, 2025 is about develop a Bayesian framework integrating Sentinel-1 SAR with Sentinel-2 and Landsat imagery for near real-time mangrove monitoring. So what is ECOP program? So this ECOP is hosted by Blue Carbon Hub at University of Western Australia in Perth, Western Australia. And the goal is like to enhance knowledge, build capacity, and support practical action for the conservation and restoration of blue carbon ecosystem. And also the focus area is for blue carbon science, finance, or policy. And the impact is like supporting Indian Ocean Rim Association or IORA member state in identifying practical strategies for coastal protection and also for climate change mitigation. So what is the project expectation? The first one is the timeline. So your project must be focused, achievable, and complete within the placement period of roughly 2 months. So in my opinion, if you already had a project or you already had an ongoing project about the blue carbon, even in the policy brief or blue carbon science, and also the blue economy and everything related with blue carbon, you can use that as your proposal, and also you can just like maybe add value from your previous project to apply this program. So, and then the project types, it is like original research, like you maybe finding some new methodological for blue carbon mapping or for blue carbon monitoring, or you do the literature reviews, and also you can do the policy brief. And the field work permitted, but funding is highly limited, so most work is expected to be done at the Blue Carbon Hub of office in Perth. And for collaboration, like I highly encourage you to work closely with nominated collaborators, or preferably from the IRO member states, or like for your previous supervisor at campus, or your maybe supervisor at office, so you can like collaborate with them and just ask them to be your collaborator during your program, ECOP program. So how life in Perth and surviving 2 months abroad. So maybe some of you, this is like your first time going away from home, and like for 2 months long. So this is the life, my daily life and exploring. So a typical day in during the ECOP, like I focus project work at the UWA, but previously we our project is in IORA, in IOMRC, right? And collaborating with international researcher, and also enjoying the campus environment. Here's like our photo during the ECOP last year. So we met the Hang from the UQ, like he's doing the research about seagrass, and he's doing like a summer school in UW, in not the in Cisairo. And also this one is like our weekly meeting for presenting our project, and they have a discuss with Rita, like she's researcher at the Cairo, and also uh discuss with Adriana, she's a postdoc at the Cairo as well. And also beside that, we can exploring Western Australia, like weekend trips to a place like Fremantle or a museum, or also maybe just strolling around the city and visit malls, and also visit the coffee shop, the zoo, and yeah, everything engaging with nature and local culture. And also maybe you can find some favorites to eat, favorite place to eat, or maybe you just miss your home cooking. You can find great local cafes or spot, or familiar comfort food across Perth. Like for me, maybe Indonesian food, you can find it, I think it almost everywhere. And also if you just miss your home cooking, you can um buy grocery at Coles or Woolworths. And also don't forget to use your transport card to strolling around the city, and especially during the weekend or during the Sunday. The transportation in Australia is free. Using the bus or train, you can go everywhere. Just tap in and tap out, and without any reducing your balance. And also tips for the first time travelers, like the first one is like create a routine, like a build daily schedule to help yourself feel grounded. Like uh, maybe your morning routine is like a cooking, preparing for meal for lunch, and also preparing for your breakfast, and also going together to the bus station, or even if your location or your apartment or your house in Perth is nearby the office, you can walk together, or just yeah, building some routines. And also build a community, like connect with the fellow eco participant in your shared housing. Like maybe last year we just like cooking together to build the connectivity. And also like we just like after office, after hour, we just like going to the city and strolling around and buy some things, and maybe just having dinner together, something like that. So for combating homesickness, yeah, schedule a regular video with your families or friends. And yeah, you can just make the routine by yourself, or just like if you feel homesick, you can, yeah, technology helps well, right? So you can just make a video call with your family or friends. So how's life after ECOP? Like, why you should apply for this program? So at first, uh, in my experience, like I'm gaining the momentum and the network to lead the research grant, especially in my office for 2026 mangrove blue carbon monitoring dashboard. Like I already not already I already built up some dashboard, and also build some uh making some development on the method. And yeah, I also continue my project during the ECOP and applied them in my office. So, and then we also can get the global exposure, like expanding academic reach to present at international forum like Go for Good Google 2025 in Singapore, and also the Ocean Science Meeting in Glasgow 2026, and also maybe next October in Barcelona for the Open Earth Monitor Global Workshop. So for the academic progression, also this program is very useful to strengthen your portfolio for international scholarship, and also for prospective PhD application. Yeah, here's my documentation for this one is during the Geo for Good in Singapore. This one is during the Ocean Science meeting in uh, Glasgow, and this one like meeting with another ECOP from around the world. So how to apply and important dates, like the first one, you have to prepare your current CV, your letter support from your host institution, and your outline of your proposed project, and apply online via the Blue Carbon Hub website. And don't forget the deadline is 7 August 2026, and notification outcome will held at 30 31 August, and also the program will held 5th October until 27 November 2026. And let's discuss your application and project ideas. Like in my suggestion, start early, like process your institutional letter of support through internet mobility service well before the deadline, and use what you know, like ensure your methodology utilize tool you already highly proficient in to guarantee completion in 2 months. Like I said before, like if you already working on some project like related with blue carbon, you can use that, and also maybe adding some add value to this program, and like can enrich your previous project related with blue carbon. And also reach out. You can email Pak Matt or with a single paragraph summary before submitting if you need help to finding your collaborator. Maybe that's all from me. Uh, so maybe next Jamie,
Next,
the time
Jamie.
is yours. Yeah.
Thank you, Muna. That was a really good coverage, and you might also be interested in putting a link to your dashboard in the chat so that people can see the kind of work that's been done. Thank you, Muna. And next up, we have Jamie Yeo from Singapore. Are you there, Jamie? The floor is yours.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you see my screen?
We can hear you and see you, and everything's good to go.
Okay, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. So, firstly, I want to thank Matt and Mark for the opportunity to share my story, as well as you listeners for giving me your time and attention as I share my ECOP story with you all. So while sitting here, I've just been thinking how best should I share my story with all of you, and I've decided that I will split it into three parts, and that's what I was doing before ECOP, what I learned during ECOP, as well as what I am doing now. So before ECOP, I was just like all of you. I hold a bachelor's degree in the National University of Singapore with a bachelor's of social science. And then I went to join the banking industry in UBS, which is a Swiss bank. And it was in the Swiss bank when I realized that there were a lot of private capital within finance, and I was very curious as to find out how could I channel at least a portion of it into nature. But then I realized that I could not answer all of these questions in the office. And that's why I decided to leave my banking job and volunteered with the NUS Center for Nature-Based Climate Solutions, where I worked as a blue carbon researcher over there. And that really inspired me to want to do a career change from the banking industry to something more hands-on, such as a researcher. And perhaps for some of you in the call, you might be feeling confused, you do not have a proposal. I am exactly like one of you like that. During the ECOP journey, I was motivated to answer the question of how do we unlock private capital to scale nature finance. And my research was all very preliminary. It was all doing all the Venn diagrams, reading of reports. But it was during the ECOP program under the guidance and the tutelage of Matt that I managed to put together all of these curious thoughts and curious musings into a proper academic output, such as a manuscript that we are working on right now. In addition to that, in my ECOP journey, just like Muni, I was attached to a group of community of fellow ECOP researchers. And in the ECOP program, I was exposed to a lot of the blue carbon ecosystems in Perth, and that broadened up my horizons of what blue carbon it's all about. I was also given the opportunity to present my findings in the fifth IORA Blue Carbon think tank program. So that really built up my research as well as my confidence. And I think more importantly is what happens after that. And for me, for someone not coming from the blue carbon industry, it was very difficult to build a career in this space. And ECOP definitely gave me the stepping stone to do that. Because after graduating from the ECOP program, I joined the NUS Center for Nature-Based Climate Solutions officially as a blue carbon researcher. And over then, it was then I realized how powerful the whole community was because I met a fellow ECOP alumni during fieldwork as well. And these are a couple of photos that I have taken during my field work in Vietnam as well as in Thailand. I think more importantly, I would also like to share with you all and echoing what Mooney said about academic progression. It was because of ECOP that I managed to put together a proposal and got selected for the Australia Awards Scholarship that allowed me to pursue my master's study here in the University of New South Wales. And below are a couple of photos that I have taken, especially in Canberra, as well as a conference that I have attended on the right-hand side in Bogor, Indonesia, where I learned about global ocean accounts. During this period of time. So I think all in all, what I would like to share with you all is that it is all right if you do not have a proper idea in mind. This ECOP is a really good platform for you to build your ideas and feel free to put in your submission because it really does broaden your horizon in terms of academic progression and likewise for myself for a career change. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Jamie. And Jamie's is a great story of a journey from banking to now fully fledged blue carbons researcher. And we have 20 stories like Muna's and like Jamie's and one of the next stories could well be you. So let me try and give you a bit of advice over the next few minutes about the do's and don'ts of what makes a good application. I'll do that and then I'll get back to some of the questions. Once again, keep adding your questions in the chat. I see a few have come through, so I'll start addressing some of the ones that have come through as well. So tip number one, make sure you're eligible. We do sometimes get applications that are not eligible, and the eligibility criteria are fairly simple. So, first of all, are you a citizen or a resident of one of the 23 IORA member states? If the answer to that is yes, then you pass the first filter and you are eligible. The second eligibility criteria is how recently did you graduate from your most recent degree? And that must be less than 6 years ago. So if you want to count forwards, starting in 2021, if you graduated from your most recent degree in 2021 or later, you are eligible. And the degree itself doesn't matter because we recognize that different programs are available in different countries around the rim. Some have PhDs, some haven't got PhDs and have only finished a bachelor or an honours degree. So that is fine. We're open to everyone. It just comes down to your application if you pass both of those screening criteria. So the application then is assessed by a panel. Now, the panel is very experienced. We have read hundreds of applications. And so we scrutinize every application very carefully. And first of all, we look at the idea. Now, we're pretty flexible about what is in scope with the idea. So you can have a look at the website, the nice new website that we've got, and see the kinds of things we're interested in and the kinds of things we support, and you'll see it's pretty flexible. So you can propose, as Muna said, you can propose an original research project, or you can propose a literature review, or you can propose a policy brief, or you can propose something completely different, like a business case if you're interested in finance, like Jamie was. So it's pretty flexible and you have lots of opportunities. The main criteria with your idea is make it feasible. As I said, we've looked at lots and lots of applications. We've had lots of people through the program, and so we know what is feasible within an 8-week program. Now, sometimes we get an application that requires a team of people a year to complete. So that one won't get ranked very highly because it needs to be one person working for 8 weeks to try and have a self-contained project. If your project meets that criteria, then it'll get reasonably highly marked by the team and the panel. So to get the highest marks, make sure it has clear objectives, make sure you articulate how it's extending knowledge, and then make sure that you tell us a little bit about yourself as well. How will it help you? So we want to know that if you come and do this program, it's going to be a boost to your career as well, because that's what we're about. As from my experience, don't get AI to write it for you. Don't use chat or don't use Gemini or one of the other AI tools to write it, because we can tell. And in our experience, the AI bots usually get it wrong. They very often write a project idea that is simply not feasible and would take a team of people a year to do. So have your own idea, use your own words. By all means, use the AI bots to check your grammar and check the writing style, but don't get them to write your idea and tell you what you should do, because we will be able to tell and it probably won't get ranked very highly. And on that, it is a competitive program. We had last year 100 applications and there are only 4 places. So it is very, very competitive. So we do look for the best possible applications. So bear that in mind. All right. Now, questions are coming through, and I will try and address the questions, and my colleagues will also help me moderate the questions. I did see from Emma and others questions about the collaborators. So that is an excellent question. So on the collaborator, bear in mind that, as I said, it needs to be feasible for you to do in 8 weeks. And to be feasible, you're going to need a bit of help. So we're there to help you. but it also helps to have a brain's trust. One of the things we try and do, as you've seen in Muna's talk and Jamie's talk, is build you into a broader network, and the collaborators are there to help you. So ideally, a collaborator should be someone who you trust, that has the expertise to try and help you answer the question that you've set out to achieve. And they should be available. The best collaborators will be physically available in Perth, but it doesn't matter necessarily if you have to collaborate with them online because they're not physically available, as long as they are available when you need them during that 8-week program, which is going to be through October and November. Now, if you don't have a collaborator, that doesn't matter because we can help. And if necessary, we will just get you to nominate us as the collaborators for your application. And then based on your idea, we'll work with you to get a broader network. So don't stress too much about the collaborators. By all means, think about it. If you don't yet have the networks, that's okay because we do and we're here to help. All right, how are we going with questions, team? Let me scroll through and highlight any that I need to
down the list. There's
bring down.
Question.
There's a how many collaborators are needed. So on that one, who asked that one? Ehud, we don't have a strict rule, as Muna said in the chat. 1 or 2 are okay. If you have more, that's okay. Again, as long as they're available and useful for your project. And Murshida, can a professor be a collaborator? Yes. Anybody can be a collaborator. All right, I think I've answered collaborator questions. What else have we got? Oh, the PhD. Can I take my PhD supervisor as a collaborator? You can. And by all means do that. If you're enrolled in a PhD, then certainly we'd encourage you to include your supervisors if you're coming here, because they will need to agree for you to come and spend 8 weeks away from the host institution. But we'll also be looking to have a broader collaboration team.
Hello. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry for interrupting you. Actually, the internet was slow, I guess. That time, your voice was breaking when you were giving my answer of this question. Can you please repeat again? Sorry for the discrepancies.
No problem.
PhD supervisor.
The PhD supervisor. So yes, your PhD supervisor can be one of your collaborators, but we do encourage you to have a broader set of collaborators, because the point of the program, or one of the points of the program, is to build a broader network. So again, if you're having trouble identifying collaborators, that's okay. Let us know and we can help. All right. How are we going, Mark?
Further down, we've got another question from Ehud about the
What
study
about
area.
The study area. The study area, Ehud, it doesn't matter. I'll rephrase that. It matters a bit because it should be relevant to the Indian Ocean. This is the IORA Blue Carbon Hub, the IORA Early Career Ocean Professionals Program. So we do like it to be relevant to the Indian Ocean. It can be, for example, a case study from your country or from another country, but it should also have some broader relevance around the Indian Ocean.
Question from Domi underneath.
Is there any chance for the applicants who are currently undertaking a master's degree? So, Domi, the answer for that is yes. We consider that if you are currently enrolled in a degree, then you are eligible. In which format should the CV be written? Mashida, it doesn't matter. We don't have a template as long as it's got all the information that you think is important about you. So the sorts of standard information we like to have is your education history, maybe a little bit about your employment if you've been working since you graduated, a little bit about the type of skills you've got and about your interests. If you've got particular computing or software skills or analytical skills, they're useful to put in there as well. That's also that we can start do an evaluation of how will this benefit you. Dienda. All right. Hello, Dienda. Would projects focused on developing analytical capacity and knowledge transfer be considered as competitive as projects primarily aimed at producing your research findings? Yes, everything is competitive. We don't discriminate on the idea at the end. All ideas are good ideas. Again, the main way that we evaluate the ideas, as long as they're broadly within scope as per the website, is are they feasible? Can you do it? And are they going to develop something that's a little bit of an extension? Pam from Kenya, again on the master's degree. So yes, if you're graduating in September, Pam, then I assume that means you're enrolled now, and yes, you are eligible. And Neston, I assume from Madagascar. Salama, Neston. Which types of blue carbon ecosystem are considered? All of them. Doesn't matter to us. You can choose mangroves, you can choose seagrass, you can choose tidal marshes. If you want, you can even choose seaweeds. That's okay as well. All right. I think, Mark, I've gotten to the end of the questions in the chat. Yes. Now, feel free to put more questions in the chat. We do have time. If you prefer you can't work out the chat, you can raise your hand or just unmute and ask your question as well. So I'll pause there. I'll have a sip of my drink and wait and see if there's any more questions coming up.
Yeah, well, after we've finished, I'll include all the links to apply for the program and to follow us and keep up to date with all things Blue Carbon Hub.
Let's have a look. The links, yes. Oh, Domi, is it mandatory to participate in person in Perth for the full 8 weeks? We would certainly prefer it. The value of the program is that you get to work with a team of experts and also work with your peers, the other people who are selected for the program. 1 month is a bit short, and you probably aren't going to be able to complete the program in 1 month. Already 8 weeks is a challenge for a good project to be completed. To do it in 4 weeks would probably mean that the project is small enough that it wouldn't be competitive for the program. So if you struggle to get away for the full 8 weeks, then you might want to think about whether this program is right for you. Jamie and Muna, did you want to comment on what it's like to be in Perth for a full 8 weeks?
I can go first. I think it is important to be there for the full 8 weeks just because you would also have the chance to build the connections with your fellow ECOP cohort as well. Yeah, that's on my end. How about you, Muna?
Yeah, actually, I think we should like fully 8 weeks in part so you can collaborate with everyone that maybe relate with your field, and also you can have discuss more with them, and also you have more time to explore part.
Yeah. And we recognize it's a big commitment. 8 weeks away from home and 8 weeks away from your family, it's a big commitment. It's a long time. It does go quickly. I think everyone will agree. But so we certainly do encourage it. All right, let's have a look. The final list of accepted participants be shared. On the visa processing, yes. All right. So, Pooja, thank you for that note. So the process. So we once the application is closed, which is what is that, the 7th of August, we will very rapidly assess them, so that within a week or so we will have shortlisted and made our decision about who the preferred applicants are. We will have 4 places in 2026. The process from there is then we need to get the member states to endorse. So that can be another 1 or 2 weeks. So once they've endorsed, we contact all the successful applicants. Then we recognize there is a visa, and sometimes the visa application process can be difficult. Certainly coming to Australia is not always easy. Now we work with you as best we can, and we work also with the embassies and high commissions in the countries that you've come from to try and streamline the visa applications as best possible. Now, we don't control any of that, but we try and support you as much as possible and try and get it through as quickly as we can. We've not yet had visa problems, so hopefully we don't encounter them this time.
Pam, did you have a question? You've got your hand up there. Feel
Go
free
ahead,
to
Pam.
unmute and show us your face and ask your question.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I can't show you my face because I'm on transit and it's quite chaotic here.
Sure.
I hope you're all doing well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so my question is, you've said it's okay to apply if you're doing your master's degree right now. And in the application, you have to indicate your highest degree that you've already graduated with. So am I to indicate as master's or the bachelor's degree? And am I still eligible to apply if I'm currently doing my master's, but I graduated with my bachelor's more than 6 years ago?
So thank you for the question, Pam. So yes, confirm, if you are currently doing your master's, you are eligible. And then for your highest degree, for that one, if you are going to graduate in September, it's okay to list your master's degree as your highest degree.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Dienda has a question about the day-to-day experience during the program. Okay, maybe Jamie and Muna can answer this question. I know both of them touched on it a little bitly, but maybe you want to expand on this question, Muna and or Jamie, for Dienda.
Jamie, or me first?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Muna.
Oh, yeah, okay. So for day-to-day experience during the program, like maybe for the first week, I also make some roadmap for my project, and also I consulted or I talk with Matt, and like, is it feasible or is it not, or we can go on with this and maybe just stop at this point, and then week by week we just do the weekly report or weekly meeting, Matt. Yeah, Pak Matt. We also do the weekly meeting for like progress report of our project, or just maybe in my experience, like maybe I have difficulty to fixing the bugs for my dashboard. So I talked to Matt, and Matt like find someone like Dirk to help me with the dashboard with the codes and everything, and also maybe like for enhancing my methodology. So the dashboard, it will the result for the dashboard is like more reliable or something like this. So Pak Matt just suggest me to contact another researcher from my institution to have discussion, and also to have a closure to my project. So yeah, you can do like making the roadmap for your project, and also like the weekly target, and also the final target for your project. Maybe for me, it's like making the dashboard and also like writing the report and also writing the maybe some publication. So yeah, after that, I get the result for my project. It's like the dashboard and also the draft for research paper that later I present it during the Google Geo for Good in Singapore, and also I present it during the Ocean Science meeting in Glasgow, and also I now still drafting to maybe publish in some scientific journal, something like that. So maybe for like day by day, how to finish your project or how to do your project is like making the roadmap and also making some target for your weekly target and also your final target about your project. And yeah, just talk with Matt if you have any difficulty, or maybe you find some obstacle with your project and everything, and also talk with your collaborator if you have any collaborator outside the Blue Carbon Hub, something like that. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Muna. Jamie, did you want to add anything?
I'll quickly add, I think I do understand that we all have our own individual projects, but and of course there are time to do our projects independently. But the whole purpose of this Blue Carbon Hub is to bring everyone together. And like there are, as what Muna says, like regular check-in sessions with Matt or with your collaborators, and also with the cohort itself. So that is a good opportunity to get to know everyone's project and to see how you guys can collaborate together. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Jamie. So yes, as you see, Deanda, there's a few different structures. There are the regular check-ins weekly or more frequently than that if we need to, as well as weekly joint meetings with the whole team. And because it's in the Indian Ocean Marine Research Centres, there's also opportunities to join seminars by other organisations, the university, etc. So there's a variety of different approaches, and we implement that from day one.
Emma has
Okay,
a question further down.
Emma. Yeah, I say, Emma, are international applicants and Australian applicants weighed equally? So, Emma, we don't weight based on country of application. So where you are applying from doesn't matter to us. And I've mentioned that we have had 20 early career ocean professionals through programs like this before. What I didn't mention was that those represent 12, I think it's 12 or 15 different countries. Australia is not one of them, interestingly enough. So of the 23 or 22 other member states of the IORA, we've actually had more than half of those member states represented. So where you are applying from, it doesn't matter. Go ahead. And Yuzwan, based in Malaysia, thinking of bringing a PhD project into this program. Would that be appropriate? Yuzwan, it might be appropriate. Now, without knowing your PhD program, I can't tell. But what I would encourage you as part of the tips is make sure we understand, if this is part of your PhD program, what the ECOP program would add. So if this is just visit to write part of your thesis, then that won't get ranked very highly compared to if this is a visit to expand and add something new that wouldn't otherwise be part of your PhD program. Okay, so hopefully that helps. How are we going, Mark?
Does anyone else have any questions? Feel free to, put your hand up again or unmute. We've got a couple of minutes left, so.
We do. And I'll check my notes in the meantime, see if there's anything else that I can add.
While we do that, I'll chuck up the application QR code for those that want to scan it. I think Muna's put the link also in the chat, and we'll put that in before we finish up here.
Neston is asking, where can we find all documents produced by alumni? In all sorts of different places, Neston. It depends on the project. So, for example, some of the projects have resulted in journal publications, and so they've been published in journals. Some of the projects, for example, like Muna showed before, have resulted in some online platforms and online tools. So you basically find those in digital space. So there is not one single repository where you can go and see the reports of every applicant of every of the previous alumni, because they're out in all the different places, which reflects the wide variety of different projects that we have. Thank you, Jamie. That's very generous. I will reach out to you.
Not you, it's
please.
everyone else.
Oh, okay. I can't. I'm ineligible. All right. Oh, so someone wants the QR code again, but I think Mark's going to put the link in the chat.
Yeah,
Is that right, Mark?
The link's in the chat. Yeah, the link to the
Okay.
current calls is in the chat now.
Excellent.
A couple of minutes left. Does anyone have any more questions? Thanks, Emma. If you've got any other questions, yeah, please reach out.
Thank you, Emma. Good to know that it's useful. And we're looking forward to receiving all your applications. It's one of the pleasures I have during the year is reading all the interesting ideas that people have. Rashida from Bangladesh, if you contact us, we will put you in contact with the Bangladeshi alumni, of which we have, Mark, help me out here, 3 or 4.
Upal and Mia. Oh no, and Ashraful as well.
That's right.
So 3.
3.
Yeah, if you want to send us an email after this, we'll gladly put you in touch with the 3 Bangladeshis.
Thank you. We're excited to receive your applications. Very good. Have we exhausted all of the applications questions?
I think our job here is done.
We might have exhausted everyone, Mark.
We have.
I think Muna and Jamie did an excellent job.
Thank you to you both.
Always good. Always good to share. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.